So today I'm going to be showing you how to get this full look using airbrush makeup. So if you are interested, please keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to do for this look is I'm going to go ahead and conceal my blemishes and dark under eye circles. So here my compressor dial is at about 10 o'clock, and I'm just slightly pulling back on the lever very lightly to go ahead and conceal those blemishes without overspraying. Now there is an eye look in this video, and if you are one of the people who are only interested in the eye look for these tutorials, there will be a link to the eye look in the description box below for you. So here I'm just going to continue to cover up my blemishes. The shade I'm using is dark golden beige, which is my foundation shade, and I'm just lightly spraying. I find that it works to use your foundation shade in a light manner. That way you don't overspray or try to over concentrate color to hide those blemishes when you're doing your foundation. Now the next step in this look is to go ahead and apply blush. Now the color I'm using here is peach pink, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that directly to my cheekbones, and I'm just going to go in circular motions and drag it back. Now I don't want to go too far forward, so I'm just going to try to focus mainly on my cheekbone and kind of pointing it out toward the apples of my cheeks. Now for this step I did turn my compressor dial back up, so it is now back at 12 o'clock. Now if you do happen to overspray, just go ahead and tap the color just a little bit right away, and that'll go ahead and take some of the pigment away. So here what I'm doing is just applying just a little bit of color to the apples of my cheeks, not too much as to make it too noticeable. Now the next step is applying a bronzer, or in my case a contour, and here I'm just using light bronze and I'm applying it to the bottom of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag it up toward my temples as well, just to make sure everything's evenly blended so I don't have these like dark blotches of color on my face. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag it all the way up to my temples, and then I'm also going to apply the shade to my jawline as well, just to go ahead and slim it down. After I apply it to my jawline, another thing I like to do is just go ahead and bring it down my neck, just to go ahead and slim my neck down a little bit as well. Now the next step is my favorite part, and here I'm using a mixture of 2 drops of City Lights with 2 drops of Glitz and Glam, and I just back bubbled to mix it very well, and I'm applying it to the inner corner of my eyelid. And now I'm going to go ahead and just drag this out toward the outer corner of my eyelid. Now this shade is a really beautiful pink shimmer shade, which I absolutely fell in love with. I think it's so soft and pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure to layer that on my lid because I really want this color to be vibrant. I'm also going to make sure to apply that to my tear duct, and then as well as to my lower lash line. And then I also want to make sure to feather that up into my transition, because you always want to do that with the colors you apply in the inner corner of the eyelid, because then it just makes everything look really well blended. Once I'm done applying this color to my lid, I am going to go ahead and take it up to my brow bone for a highlight. And you know, this color is so beautiful that I think it would work perfectly as a highlight on the face. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, to my cupid's bow, to my chin and forehead as well. Now the next shade I'm going to apply is Central Park, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that in the outer V, and then drag that all the way through from the outer corner of my transition all the way to the inner corner of my transition. Now with this color I chose to start off really light, which I think is perfect with these airbrush colors, is that especially with the Colair line, is you can start with a really sheer amount of color and then just go ahead and increase the depth and intensity of that color. Just the fact that you can do that makes it perfect for using it on the outer corner of the eye or even in the transition area. So here I'm just going to go ahead and take Central Park from the base of the outer V, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag that to my lower lash line, just so that everything is evenly blended around my eye. Now here I'm just going to go ahead and increase the intensity of that central part in my transition just by adding layer after layer of central part. Now I don't want it to be too bold of a color, but just enough so that you can tell that it is a green tone. Now the next shade I'm going to apply is Fifth Avenue, and it's this nice deep gray smoky color, and I'm just going to use it to go ahead and add some depth to the outer corner of my eye. Now all of these colors are pretty packed with shimmer, so adding this color actually really does increase the depth in the outer corner of the eye just because it's a darker tone. So I am going to go ahead and concentrate in the outer corner, as well as blending it really deep into the natural fold of my eyelid. And like I said before, you just want to continue adding layers to increase the intensity of that color. Now the next step, of course, is airliner, and here I'm just using Onyx and my Cat Eye stencil. Now if you're unfamiliar with the way I do my airliner, there will be the links to my airliner videos and tutorials in the description box below for you. Once I'm done with my eyes, I'm just going to go ahead and start on my face, and I'm just using dark golden beige this time. And I am going in small circular motions around the face. Now when you're doing your foundation, you really want to make sure that you try to stretch your skin just to make sure that you get as much surface area covered as possible. That way when your face is relaxed and everything, I think this is a perfect tip for people with mature skin as well. You just want to go ahead and open up that surface area, get it all covered. That way when your face is in the relaxed position, there are no mist spots or blotchy spots on your face with your foundation. So I just want to make a note that when I was doing my eyeshadow, my compressor speed was at 10 o'clock. Now that I moved on to my face, I did turn that speed up to 12 o'clock. And we can't forget our brows, so here I'm just using my brow stencil that I got with my Personal Pro kit, but any brow stencil will work fine for this step. And I'm just using Light Smoke as my brow color, but of course you want to go ahead and use whatever brow color fits your hair color. And here I'm just utilizing the different ends of the stencils to create the eyebrow shape that I'm most comfortable with. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly spray to fill in the stencil and fill in my brows. Now for this step, you can leave your compressor dial at 12 o'clock, but I did go ahead and turn mine down just because I don't want too harsh of a spray or too heavy of a spray. Now I'm going to go ahead and add lip color using my lip stencil, and the color I'm using is a mixture of peach pink and city lights. I thought it was like a really pretty, almost like nude pink tone, which I thought would go really perfect with this eye look. So I'm just using my lip stencil to give myself a more defined cupid's bow or V on the top of my lip, and then I'm just going to go ahead and freehand around just to line the corners of my lips just to create that nice outline, and then I'm going to go ahead and stretch my lips out and begin to shade. Now here my compressor dial is at 10 o'clock. Feel free to do this at 12 o'clock if you like, it makes no difference really. And just go ahead and lightly pull back on the lever to release small amounts of pigment, and you also want to be pretty close to your face, that way you can control and make sure you don't get any overspray. To add a glossy finish, I'm just going to go ahead and apply Moist and Dewy to the lips over the lip color that I just laid down, using the Shadow Shield to protect the outer rim of my mouth from any overspray from the Moist and Dewy. And then with any excess of the Moist and Dewy, I'm just going to apply to my cheekbones for a glow and to my neck for some moisture. And this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.